Hi everyone, it's Luna here. So today I wanted to share the digital planner that I created for real estate agents. This is by far the most um, advanced planner that I created this year, and it's definitely tailored for real estate agents because it has quite a bit of stuff that we agents need. Now, for example, if you're typing here and if you run out of room or space and you don't want to proceed forward in the next date, what you do is you just click in between the A and the B, that arrow shows up, and then you extend that. So that way you have more room. Not only that, if you run a space is going downwards, when you click on the 13, you click add additional row. Now, the reason why this is very important is because sometimes when you have a regular planner, there's no way around that. So you have to kind of move your tasks around. But with this one, it is pretty amazing that you can add different rows. That way you never run out of space. Now, for example, if you put in a whole data task here, all you have to do is highlight the whole thing, copy, move it to the next area, and paste the whole task. So you can move rows and tasks around too. One of the things that I always tell everybody is that the sequence that I have for the way I run it is by putting in with different colors. Now, the way I do it is I color code it with three different colors. Green means I'm meeting with the client on this specific day. Like, for example, if I have an appointment on Wednesday, the 4th, I will put in green meeting and then I'll type in here meeting with a client. That way, I remind myself and I see myself that I'm meeting with a client. Now, if I type something here and I want to clear it, I can always go clear. So you can add as many tasks as you want going downwards. If you're out of space, you can add it sideways. If you have a client that you talk to, but he's not really sure what day to meet or doesn't really know if that day works for him, like for example, you talk to a client and he says, I want to meet with you Thursday the 5th. What you do is you click in Thursday the 5th, you put in his first name, email, phone number, and the location that he wants to meet at. Then you highlight that on yellow. Now, if this person said, you know what, let's do it, let's meet that day, he changed his mind. Now it's green. Green means ready to go, a solid appointment. Yellow means I talked to him, but not really sure if that day will work for him. Now, for example, I had a meeting with somebody yesterday, the third, and I typed in, "Hey, look, I'm meeting with the buyer this specific day." I met him at the location. Now, obviously, it's gonna have a couple of rows in there. Then you put in red. So that task has been completely done and filled out with that client. So you can see the very things that the amount of space you have with this one and so flexible. So this is, like I said, the 2023 calendar year. Now the second section is buyer sides information that you need. Obviously, for this one, I put home address. On the home address, you're gonna put in the address of the house. I just put 0101 digital 01 at Reno, NV 89505 That way, you guys at least know what goes here. The home address goes there. It's very important to put a home address in there because that's the first thing what you want to know. Like if what you're entering, of course, because everything you do in real estate will have a house address. Now, I also have the buyer's name, seller's name, loan officer's name, other agent's name, escrow officer's name, home inspector's name, and pest inspection's name. Obviously, you can add other inspectors in here, but having all those emails, phone numbers, and addresses is very important. Now, the other task that I added here is open escrow and close of escrow. This I added here because it's needed to keep yourself organized the day of open escrow and the day of close of escrow. Then also the close of escrow. The close of escrow is super important to have it here because then it determines if the home inspector is gonna pay through escrow, then at least you gotta know what the escrow number is because the home inspector is gonna ask you for the loan officers. I mean for the escrow officer's email, phone, and address, and he's also going to ask you for the escrow number to create an invoice for the escrow officer. So having that is very important. That's why I put in here paid by buyer. If it's paid by the buyer, you still send that paid invoice to escrow. If not, if the buyer doesn't pay, you still send that invoice to escrow. Now, a couple of things that I also added here is sales documents. Now, a couple of things when you're starting out, the first thing is duties owed by broker agreement and the loan approval or cash or proof of cash. Now, if you're filling it in, you do this stuff because this is the paperwork you submit in. You have to keep yourself organized. Now, if you don't have a checklist or anything to keep yourself organized, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. So that's why I created this, and I added with the number sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, and other. So the reason why I added number one is duties owed because that is the first document we submit in. Number two is buyer brokerage agreement. That's also the second document that you'll need. Loan approval or proof of cash, you need that before you start showing a house. So after you do all that, you're gonna write an offer and open escrow. But look, this is all sequenced in here, and if and this is all the documents your broker will need as well. So might as well keep it organized. Now, if it's red, it's not needed. In this case, if it's red, it's not needed. If it's yellow, you're working on it. And if it's green, you already did it. So eventually, your task here will be good to have everything green. That way, you have all that stuff that is needed, like environmental contact list, information from the county tax records, preliminary title report. So if you add all this in here, what you're pretty much doing is you're organizing yourself, addendums, you have all that stuff. So and you're pretty much getting it all ready to send it to your broker, and you're keeping it all organized in one folder. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of disclosures, residential disclosure guide. So if you have that, you put in here seller's real property disclosure. You need that. And if the house was built prior to 1978, you're also going to need that file. So that is how you keep yourself organized. So eventually, like I said, you will want to have everything green because then at that point, you know what's missing and whatnot. So eventually, like all the closing docs should be green before you submit it to your broker. That way, when you are ready to submit your paperwork, your file is all organized and everything's done correctly. Now you can do it all one by one, or you can do it highlight all at once. But for this case purpose, this will be completely blank. And the way you clear that out is just by putting no fill. And that's how that's done. I pretty much explained exactly what you need to do. So this is the organization sheet for the buyer side. Now the third sheet is an organization sheet for the listing side. That's when you are actually picking up that house for sale and you're gonna put your sign in the front. Obviously, there's different things that you won't need, and in this case, you'll only need the seller's name, the other buyer's name. That's why I'm gonna put it here. The buyer's name, you won't really need this on the buyer's side. That's why I don't have the email, phone, and address because there's very slight chance you ever get a hold of those information. Now, escrow officer's name you're gonna need, loan officer's name you will need. Obviously, the same sequence here. If it's not needed, like for example, some houses are not, they all don't have association, so I put that on red. So those things I don't need. Cancellation instruction, like obviously if the house is getting proceeded and ready to close until the day of closing, that's not going to be needed. Some houses are not rated for farming area, so you won't need that. So I put that on red, and the ones on blank, I pretty much tell myself the ones that I'm gonna need and require for that specific house. Now this, like for example, this one, if I'm not really sure, I just put it on yellow. It's like then I go back to the offer and check if the house was built prior to 1978, and if it was, then I'll put in the paperwork in there, um, put it in green. Like I said, this is just an organization. platform for brand new agents. And if you're a seasoned agent, hopefully this helps you out too. Now, the fourth sheet that I added in here is for passwords. Now, a lot of us in real estate, we have to create a lot of passwords for MLS, social media, real estate stuff that is needed, banking, website, video conference, and all that stuff. So here I'm working with OneDrive. So this means that whatever OneDrive's password is going to be, I name what company or what app I'm saving. So in this case, the app that I'm saving is OneDrive. The username is Luna, and the password is OneDrive. You can put any signals you want to make it. Obviously, it's not my password, but I'm just giving you guys like a general idea of how to keep yourself organized. Like for example, in social media, I have Facebook. Then you have to put your username and password. I just added a few in here, but obviously, if you add more social media, you click insert, then you can just keep adding all that stuff. And this is how I have myself organized. Hopefully, this video was helpful to you guys. If you're an agent, I will be sending a link or attaching a link with this video. That way, you guys can purchase this smart calendar or digital planner to be exact and make your life easier on 2023. Hope you guys enjoy this video and visit jrisidroluna.com. Oh, one more thing before I let you guys go. I definitely recommend you guys to open a OneDrive to make this planner work even better at its full capacity. Because what you can do once you upload your planner here to OneDrive, you can click on this blue arrow and you can click share. And once you click share, this allows you to set up who can edit or who can view. And this is really good because if you send it to someone that can edit this OneDrive file, if that person downloads it in his computer and starts making changes to this OneDrive, this file, you will see the change back in OneDrive. And obviously, this is really good to share it with the team and works really good with team members when you're running teams as well. It also works really good when you don't have access to your regular computer. Like, for example, if you just download this digital planner on your laptop, then it gets stuck in your laptop. But if you share it to OneDrive, you can have access to this digital planner in any computer or your phone as well. So that way you're never missing an appointment and your calendar is on the go and it's not just stuck in one device. Now, obviously, when you share this, you can also share it to your email and you can view it on your email as well. And you can make changes on your email as well. And it goes back to OneDrive and that change is made for you. So hopefully this video is very helpful to you and it helps you out increase your tasks and organization in 2023. Looking forward to helping you guys out.